What is up, guys? So today I'm going to tell you about killers what I met whilst I was in prison. And I don't mean killers as in, oh, he can fight, he's a killer. I mean actual murderers, people that have actually killed. Now, you all know my story. I was a drug addict back in the 90s. I've spent a lot of time in prison. I've been in Cat A prisons, I've been in Cat B prisons, I've been in open prisons. And all over England, 8 different prisons. Now, my problem was, when I first started committing crime through addiction, my local jail was a maximum security triple Cat A prison. So that's where they sent me. And, you know, that's where I met all these crazy people. And what they did is, they messed up my paperwork. See, I went to court and I got 4 years. So what they should have done is sent me off to another prison. But they didn't, because they messed my paperwork up. They had me down as JR, which is Judge's Remand. So they thought I was a remanded prisoner, but I wasn't. I'd been sentenced. So I spent nearly 2 years in this Cat A prison. So, number one, Concrete Ken. Now, if anybody did prison in the 90s, you probably heard of Concrete Ken. I can't remember the specifics. I just remember his name, and I think he was in for killing his wife, chopping her head off, and he buried her in the back garden underneath concrete. And that's why they called him Concrete Ken. Now, if you can remember him and you know more specifics, then put it in the comments. I just can't remember. So, number two, I can't remember this guy's name. I think it was Richardson, I'm not too sure. But he killed his cellmate. Now, back then, there was a rumour that if your cellmate kills himself while you're in the cell with him, then when you go to court, there's a chance you can get bail because of the trauma from your padmate killing himself. So this genius decided to kill his cellmate and string him up as though he'd hung himself so he could get bail. And he was in for petrol bombing his girlfriend or something like that. So he was looking at a long time. So this genius has killed his padmate, hung him up like he'd hung himself. And, you know, he got caught straight away and he ended up getting life in prison. And the original charge, the petrol bombing, he got that not guilty. So if he hadn't done it, he'd be out now, and that guy would still be alive. And just remember that if you're heading down that road of crime and prison, you could be that cellmate. So number three, there's a guy called Kingy. Now this guy, we used to call him Drago because he looked like Ivan Drago from Rocky IV. He was a big fighting dude, and he was in for. He tied his girlfriend up, if I remember right, and he hung her up on a hook, like a punch bag, and he just smashed the shit out of her. And that's what he was in for. And usually if there's a charge like that, someone will beat him up because it's a dodgy charge. But this guy was a big fucking tough boxer, you know, so there weren't many people queuing up to beat him up. But anyway, yeah, that's three killers what I met in prison. There was another one off the top of my head. There's a kid from Edlow called Worm, and if I remember right, he got jumped, and as he was getting beat up, pulled a knife out and stabbed whoever was jumping him and killed him, murdered him. And it's a tragic case really, because the guy who he stabbed was a well-respected man as well. So, you know, and Worm was a nice guy. It was just unfortunate. And I think when he went to court, he got a not guilty because he was just protecting himself. But anyway, that's the people off the top of my head, killers, what I met in prison. If you enjoyed this video, please like the video, subscribe, and have a blessed day.